Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Living in Fear podcast. I'm Luis, and I'm living in fear.
And I'm Mia, and I'm living in Pier.
Cool. And today we are going to talk about Companion, which we just went to go see.
In theaters now.
Yeah. Yeah. When did this is, I guess, our Valentine's movie, and I feel like it was it supposed to be marketed that way? Like, oh, come see this Valentine's Day. The
Um, I don't know. I feel like a little bit, right?
hmm
Because this is one that we saw the trailer for. We usually try not to see them, but we did see it, or at least I saw it. I don't feel like you remember it, but I remember seeing it in before we saw something else. I don't remember what movie we were watching.
I
Um,
don't remember it. I don't remember anything. I know it was related to AI in a way, but I wasn't quite sure how that was gonna unfold.
I just remember there was a lot of pink in the trailer, and it like was showing like the setup of a romantic dinner or something,
Mm.
but you could just tell by the way the vibe was that it was like, oh, this is gonna turn into like a horror movie, and then sure enough, it like did. But I didn't really remember
Yeah.
much about it other than that. And then yeah, one of our friends had mentioned that it was about AI.
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 Yeah, so this is the movie we'll be talking about today. But first, I want to ask you, how's life, Mia? How are you doing?
Fine. Cold. Preparing for more cold.
Yeah, possibly it's going to snow. We'll see.
I'm okay with the snow, but we might get like freezing rain. I might get like ice, and that's more what I worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what have I been doing? Um, I've been trying to finish a short story that's due on Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. And I'm
Yep.
not sure that I'm gonna be able to finish it, to be honest.
I feel like you can. It's just whether you want to settle,
Yeah.
which sometimes you just have to.
Yeah, I also want you to read it you know, I want you to read it and then get your thoughts on it and then do some last minute edits if I need to.
Okay.
But who knows, that might not even happen.
Yeah.
Other
I
than
don't
that,
I don't feel like much has changed in the last few days.
yeah.
We watched Train to Busan. Got your brother to finally watch it.
hmm Since
Still
he's
good.
since since my brother's into Korean
Yeah.
film, I think he's just into Korean culture.
Yeah. We've been watching Squid Games
Oh yeah, Squid
season
Games.
2. Do you like this season better or the last one?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I
I don't
feel
know if I remember the first season like well enough to compare the two.
I think I think I think I like the characters more in this one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's because I just don't remember the first season that much, but maybe that says a lot. Like, hey, the characters weren't memorable enough,
Yeah.
especially since well, I'm not gonna give away the first season,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yep.
shit happens.
We've been keeping up on Severance, season 2 now.
hmm
Really good.
That's we're on episode 4, right? That's the latest episode.
Yeah. Yep.
What did you think of the last episode without spoiling it?
It was definitely felt different from some of the others.
hmm
Certain parts I liked, certain parts just felt, I don't know, like it felt like not that much happened.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminded me of like The Bear, how like this last season of The Bear, like they were like really good episodes and the writing is strong, like the acting is strong and everything, but sometimes like just there's not a lot
Yeah.
actually happening, a lot of like the plot doesn't move forward a
Hmm.
lot from episode to episode.
Did you feel like it was a filler episode?
Um, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a couple big things happen still, but yeah, there's just yeah. I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to spoil, but
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, overall, I still like it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm excited to see what happens next. Anyway, before we move on to our questions, anything else that you want to share that's going on in your life?
I don't know. You make me feel like there's something I should share, but I can't
Yeah, I don't know.
think of anything.
I didn't mean it that way. I don't think there is.
No, not that I know of, not yet. We are getting you edited a couple of these podcasts that we've done now,
Hmm.
so that's exciting.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of the stuff set up, so now we just kind of gotta actually upload them and put them out. So who knows when or if anyone will ever listen to these.
Hmm.
And this is coming, well, we're talking about Companion today's a couple days before Valentine's Day. So who knows when this will actually, you know, might be very outdated by the time it goes out and anybody listens to it. But
Yeah. Because
hopefully one day we'll like kind of catch up more and then it'll be more relevant.
yeah, yeah, because technically this would be our fifth or sixth episode.
Yeah. I think this is our sixth.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yep, yep. But yeah, that's fun. I'm excited to actually post them and keep doing this. And even if no one listens, that's okay because I'm having fun with it. I'm
Hmm.
having fun getting to actually like sit down and watch a movie and fully pay attention each week, knowing that like we're gonna have to talk about it and
Yes. You
so
can't be
like
on your phone. We try to do that
yes,
sometimes too. But in the theater,
yeah.
you can't be on your phone.
Yeah, for sure in a theater. But the problem is in theater, sometimes I get distracted by other people.
Yeah.
So like I can zone out in a theater just as much as I can. And that's just a me problem because I get distracted by things and then I start thinking about other stuff and yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. Let's get into our questions. So my question is in relation to this movie. What is something in your life you wish was automated, maybe with the help from an AI companion? Question mark. Go
I
ahead.
feel like one of the things that I thought right away would be actually like beneficial from the day to day
Mm-hmm.
would be cooking, but also like I don't hate the act of cooking necessarily.
Yeah.
Um, I don't feel like I'm that great at it. I think I'm learning and getting better, but you know, like being able to just be like order anything and have it made and be like good quality and super tasty and sometimes things just taste better when it's made for you versus like when you make it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then there's like the introvert person that has anxiety over phone calls and appointments and everything. And I wish I had something to do all that, like paperwork kind of things and appointments and phone calls. And a lot of that is kind of automated nowadays, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like any doctor's appointment now, I can just make through an app on my phone. Paperwork, I don't know that that would be, I mean, I guess if it's like an AI person or whatever, or thing that knows everything about me, then it can do that paperwork for me.
Yeah.
Um, I guess the one that would be the most helpful though is cleaning. And again, I don't hate cleaning necessarily. Sometimes it's kind of like therapeutic, and I don't mind doing laundry. I don't mind doing some dishes sometimes or cleaning up around the house because it's just something I can like throw a podcast on and like or YouTube video and listen in the background while I'm like doing these things and it doesn't really bug me. It's just having to do those things like every day and like when it comes to cooking, I don't like the cleanup afterwards. Like I want to eat and be done. I don't want to have to cook for 30 minutes and then have to clean for 30 minutes. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I guess the anxiety ridden person inside of me would want help with appointments and phone calls and paperwork and all that stuff though, ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess with cooking, I feel like there's more to that because you also need to buy the groceries, right? Like there's
Yeah,
like Grubhub, there's there's things that already make your food if you wanted to. You just have to pay for it.
yeah.
Like if you order DoorDash or something. But if you want a genuinely cooked meal, you still need to go to the grocery store and buy shit. Unless the robot can do that for you. Hey, like, hey, I want this, this, and this.
I mean,
But
I guess, yeah, it seems like it could, right? You could automate it to like take care of just like all your meals and food and stuff in general. So
hmm
like maybe grocery shopping could be a part of that. I mean,
yeah,
I'd still rather go to the grocery store than have to like cook it.
yeah, yeah. I think me too. I think I'm with you there with cooking as well. That's just something like I think about how much time you can save by these things just like, you know, being deleted from your life. Like the time cooking, the time going to a grocery store, the time cleaning
Yeah.
dishes. Like we
I
could
mean, it
go ahead.
isn't that like the thing about automating things though is like ideally you can automate all these things and it frees up so much time for you in life and everything and it's like but ultimately it's just like taking away jobs and then instead of just, letting people do other jobs and make like good money doing it, there's just less jobs. Like,
Y-
right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we could build a world where we have all these things automated and everything, but then what are all these people that used to do those things for work going to do? And sometimes they don't find other things to do, and society's weird.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I
and
was
and and it's probably who knows? We might have all this free time after we do all these things, or after we automate all these things, and then what are we gonna do? We're just gonna spend time more on our phones.
yeah,
Sometimes free time isn't a good thing, you know?
yeah. And at least like when I'm doing day to day like cleaning and stuff, like it's boring and redundant, but at least like I feel like I'm doing something productive rather than just scrolling social media or something.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I would say the biggest thing for me is driving,
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
which we're kind of getting close. It'll get there someday. It'll get there in our lifetime.
I guess I just don't mind driving.
Yeah, I
I
don't know. I feel like I just find it so boring. I I don't know. I'd
again,
rather
it's
be
one of
doing
those.
I'd rather be doing something else in a car, like reading or
See,
something.
see, you like reading. I'm the person that like I like listening or watching things better than like sitting down and reading because I just get distracted. So and usually when I'm doing those things, I like to like be doing something else. So like I'll be, like even right now, I'm like sitting here doodling on a paper while I'm talking so that this has my full attention. Or I'm on my phone doing like a Sudoku or like something silly, and then my brain is able to focus more on what I'm listening or watching.
Yeah.
So like that's I think why I like listening to podcasts while I'm driving because I'm sitting there like driving uses up enough brain power or whatever so that I can focus on what I'm listening to.
Hmm.
Whereas if I was just sitting there in a car that's driving itself trying to read, I would have a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if driving cars suddenly self-driving cars were suddenly everywhere, that yeah, that would definitely um get rid of a lot of jobs.
I mean,
Because yeah, I mean, because why does Uber exist? Why does Lyft exist?
there's
What?
like places where you can take a self-driving like taxi
Yeah,
basically.
but it's only in very specific places.
Yeah. But we're moving over to that direction.
Yeah, but there, yeah, I mean, why do you need a? Yeah, I mean, mine is just because I don't like driving.
Yeah.
But usually people when they order a lift or something, it's because they need it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not because they just don't want to drive.
Yeah, you're one of those people where you're like, I could drive, I have a car and the time to do it, but I just would rather read or do something. So you're the type to take public transportation
Hmm.
so that you can read while somebody else drives for you. I just don't like dealing with parking or like finding locations to things sometimes. Like that's stressful for me.
Yeah.
That's why like I wouldn't want to do like Uber Eats or something like that. But otherwise, I like driving. We go on road trips and I'll drive the whole time and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I fall asleep sometimes.
Yeah. You fall asleep like immediately in the car.
Yeah, it's
Must
soothing.
be nice. Hey, clearly I'm not a crazy driver. You wouldn't be able to fall asleep while I drive.
Yeah, so driving cars is my number one, probably. I'm not sure if I have any others except for the ones I mentioned already,
Okay.
or the ones you mentioned, I mean, which
Yeah.
was I was gonna say anyway,
I think those
cooking.
are the obvious answers.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that's not so obvious. Like, what would people?
Some people probably would want a companion, right?
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, maybe you would want someone that can read your stories and
Hmm.
tell you right away and like, but it's like read instantly and they can give you feedback or there's
Yeah.
things where I guess like a more human type AI system could be, interesting. We use AI nowadays. AI is becoming more and more prominent.
Yeah.
You just ask your phone a question and they read out the responses from Google and
Yeah. And Chat GPT can do a lot now too.
yeah, yeah.
N-
I don't really use any of that stuff though.
Oh, there's yeah, I feel like most of the world uses it now.
I've
A lot
never
of
used
a
ChatGPT,
lot of companies use it.
which is like kind of mind blowing to me. I guess I just like, you know, I don't know where I stand on like all of that. I understand like the artist complaint about AI and things like that, but I just thought it wasn't being used
Hmm.
professionally, or at least not as much or as openly, but then I hear people talking about it and it's like being used everywhere and it's kind of crazy.
I mean, there's definitely a way to use it and a way not to use it.
Yeah, but not everybody respects that or follows it.
Yeah, because you can literally just tell it, hey, write me a story, science fiction story about an AI and who's dating a human or something, and it'll write it. And people don't even check it sometimes and just submit it to places. And that's
You
when
know,
you get in trouble because the AI is pulling from all different authors and sources. And then, editors, or acquisitions editors will look at it and say, "Hey, this kind of sounds like this story." But I mean, there is ways to use it, I think. I mean, it's kind of a dilemma because we already use AI in so many things and most people don't even know that we use AI. Like for example, uh programs such as Illustrator, InDesign, which I use a lot, like they all use AI to do things.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
know that some people I know it's frowned upon when people just tell it to do something and don't check it, don't copy edit it, they just post it and you can tell. Like if
Yeah.
I told it, "Hey, write me a cover letter for this job. Here's the job description, here's this and that." And then I don't even check it. I just submit it. Oh, there goes my dog. He, she doesn't like AI either. Right, dog? Come here. Come here. You don't like AI? No, I hate it.
I guess maybe just like, the kid in me that was like raised with how bad plagiarism is and all this stuff and everything and not doing the work yourself. It's just nowadays seeing
Oh yeah.
people just letting a computer do the work and then like getting the credit for it themselves is just like weird. I
I
don't know.
yeah, I can't imagine today with school, with
Yeah.
like high school and
I
what.
mean they like test for it and but the tests aren't always like it'll say that something was like AI generated when it wasn't. So
Mhm.
like I can't imagine being a student right now. Like
Yeah.
it's just more complicated too. But yeah. All right, we'll get back to AI in a second when we're talking about the movie. Can I ask my question?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. This is kind of writing off the back of last week when we you mentioned romance movies. I wanted to ask you what your favorite is since we have Valentine's Day coming up. It can be a rom-com since I think that's what you prefer.
Yeah, I definitely prefer rom-coms. I don't know if I have a favorite though. I can
Okay,
tell
well,
you which ones
some.
I really like.
Okay.
So I really like You've Got Mail. That's like
Mm-hmm.
a classic for me. Um, I don't know. There's something about that movie. It being about books too.
Yeah.
Um, I used to love Meg Ryan and when she was popular.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That movie was it also is very nostalgic because it's about, AOL or AIM. Um,
Is that the only one you're gonna mention?
um, no, I'm gonna mention When Harry Met Sally is also a really good one.
Okay. There's
Uh,
one that I haven't seen that you've talked about a few times.
oh really?
And I'm
Is it 51st Dates?
no, I've seen that.
Though I really
Must
like.
love dogs.
Oh yeah, Must Love Dogs.
Must love
Must Love
dogs.
Dogs. Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't made me watch that yet, especially since I love dogs.
I don't know if you'll like it because I don't think there's a lot of dogs in it.
Yeah.
I think because the whole thing, the whole shtick is that she doesn't even have a dog and she just or no, he doesn't have a dog, but the no, no, both of them don't have dogs. But like they have this thing where like, okay, if I mention I love dogs, then maybe that'll make me like a more trustworthy person or something. So none of them are dog lovers.
I mean, sometimes dogs are a good judge of character. And
Yeah, but they're lying about it though.
yeah. But also, if somebody didn't like dogs because I'm such a dog person, I don't think I could ever date them.
I mean, I didn't love dogs just because I had never had a dog.
But that's different from like actively not liking dogs.
Hmm.
Being like, oh, I don't really, I've never had a dog, so I don't really like whatever. I don't really get it. To like, no, I've been around dogs and I hate dogs, or I don't like dogs. Like that's different. And had, you been around dogs with me more, and then we're like, yeah, no, I don't like these, then that would have probably been a no for me. That would have been a no for me, dog. Because that's just such a big part of my life. Like I have to have a dog.
Yeah.
So if you were like, "Oh no, I don't want a dog," then it's just like, people with kids and stuff, like there's certain things that are deal breakers. That's one of my deal breakers. But yeah. I'm curious to see it. You don't like very many romantic type movies or rom-coms and stuff. So like when you do like one, I'm like, "Okay, let's see what this is about."
Yeah. Yeah, just the classics. You know which
Yeah.
one I really like too? Um, What Women Want.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I really like that one. What else? Yeah, and then 50 First Dates. 50. What is it? I don't even remember it.
51st Dates,
Yeah,
yeah.
50 First Dates, yes.
With Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird one, right? Because it's not your
That's
tip.
like that's one of the ones that I wonder how it holds up now.
I think it still holds up. I saw the ending of it too recently just because it came up in my feed, my YouTube
Mm.
feed. But it's really kind of a, I don't know, like an ethical dilemma that you really have to think about deeply,
Yeah.
because, at the end of it, I don't know if we want to spoil 50 First Dates. Do we want to?
Let's not.
Okay.
Nah, it's
Okay. Yeah,
fine. I like
just the
spoilers.
ending scene, if you remember it, is like crazy to me, you
I
know?
don't even know if I remember the
Yeah,
ending.
well,
I
maybe.
remember like what the movie's about and stuff, but I don't know that I really.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll tell you when
Okay.
after the podcast. But yeah, that movie, it's kind of a weird one because it's Adam Sandler and he's not like he's not the best looking guy, so it's kind of not so traditional. I
Yeah,
guess.
but that was just rom-coms and stuff back then.
Yeah.
Like he was in a lot. Who else? Jack Black.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Get the comedians.
Yeah, the comedians. I really like. I don't know if this is considered a rom-com. Enchanted?
I mean that yeah. I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
rom-com, but like yeah, it's like a got romance in it.
Yeah.
It's a
I
movie
don't know.
about love.
Yeah. I mean, I really like it because it's a musical and the music's really good. And I don't know. I think the overall message is is fun.
Yeah. How do you feel about the actual couple in it though?
I really like Amy Adams. I don't know about the other guy. I think the other guy, he's like a big rom-com actor, right?
Patrick Dempsey?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him.
Wasn't he in Grey's Anatomy? Was that him? And he had like a nickname, Mr. Dreamy or something, or was that him?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I've never actually seen it. I've just heard people talk about it. Can I say that I feel like like I was trying to list movies that I like that have
Hmm.
romance in them and stuff. So many of them do not have a happy ending. And I didn't realize that until I put my list together. And I don't want to like spoil like which ones do and don't or anything, but like I was surprised by how many did not. Okay,
Oh, okay. So what are they?
I mean I talked about like crazy last week.
Hmm.
I talked about How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That's more of like rom-com type
Yeah.
one that I used to really enjoy. The Notebook. That's that's a happy and not happy ending. I feel like everyone's seen it at this point. But dude, the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, and you watch it nowadays, and there's certain things that are problematic, and you're like, he, didn't take no for an answer when he was trying to ask her out. Is kind of, but they are both so charming, dude. 500 Days of Summer. That's like not my absolute favorite, but like I really like both of them, just Gordon-Levitt and Zoe Deschanel, and the quirkiness and that one. I
Which wait,
think when I
which one?
500 Days of Summer.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
You've never seen 500 Days of Summer?
No.
Oh, we gotta watch it. Okay,
Something
cool.
with yeah, I don't think so. Something with Zoe Deschanel and Joseph Gordon-Levitt? No, I've never seen a movie with them.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Then I'm definitely not gonna spoil that one. We're gonna watch it. I feel like it's one that like I first saw and didn't know how I felt about, and then like you grow up and your ideas on certain things change or whatever, you mature, and then I feel like I like it more now. Um, Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio, Claire Danes one. Again, their meeting scene is like one of the best, like first, like love at first sight scenes. I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen. It's done so well. Um, Moulin Rouge musical, love movie. That one's like one of, I just really like that movie. I like the songs in it. I don't love all of his things. I mean, he's the one that did Romeo and Juliet too. But that one is just, I, in high school, I would see that it was going to be on cable TV and I would like call out sick. Like I would skip school to stay home and watch it until I finally got it on DVD. Dirty Dancing Havana Nights.
Oh yeah.
I made you watch this.
You talk about that one a lot.
I love this one. Diego Luna. Dear Heaps. Oh my gosh. Atonement. That one. James McAvoy, Keira Knightley. I think all the movies that I like are like the ones where like I actually believe their chemistry. I don't know that like the girl in Dirty Dancing Havana Nights like isn't my absolute favorite, but I feel like Diego Luna makes up for it, and
Hmm.
I think their story makes sense, and I like the overall plot and everything about it. And the dancing is good, and I like the songs in it. Let's see. Girl Next Door. That one's like one of those random ones that I don't know how it would hold up to today.
Yeah.
It's one that I quote every once in a while, and I kind of just want to rewatch it. And then 13 going on 30.
Mm, yeah,
That one I have watched.
it's classic.
That's one I made you watch on. Did I make you watch it on my 30th birthday or yours or both?
I don't know. I think it was mine, right?
I feel like it might have been both. That definitely sounds like, because I remember bugging you because you were not happy about turning 30, and then I just kept teasing you that you were 30, flirty, and thriving. But
How,
that one's sweet.
yeah. Yeah, I like that one. How do you how do you think um oh God, what am I forgetting? Oh, how do you think Pretty Women holds
Pretty
up?
Woman. Um, I think I think that's one that I always kind of questioned, even when I was younger and saw it. But if you turn off your brain, it can be kind of fun and charming. But I think even when I was a kid watching it, I had problems with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one I probably need to rewatch. I
It
don't.
also just it doesn't feel realistic at all.
Yeah.
Like the way she's portrayed and everything, and there's just there's problems with it.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't hate it. I could watch it and have a good time with it. There's a Broadway musical on it now, isn't there?
Yeah, there's Broadway music for everything now.
Yep. But yeah.
Also, shout out to 40-Year-Old Virgin. I like that
I
one
feel
too.
like one that I saw in theaters that like I actually liked more than I expected, that was like a comedy one, was She's Out of Your League. And I don't think I've seen it since, so like who knows? I actually saw it with my brother and his friends.
Hmm.
But like I remember like, thinking that one as far as like comedies go, that one was like entertaining to me.
So, do you have a favorite, or you just don't know?
Oh gosh. I feel like the one of those that I could actually like rewatch the most would be Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's also a musical and it just has songs that I really like, but I don't know about, maybe I'd have to like watch it again, paying attention to like what it's actually like saying or something to see like how I feel about the overall message and if there's any like problematic moments in it, which I know that there's like some, but I think I watched a cinema therapy video on YouTube about it like a month ago or something. And I mean, they all have problems. They did one on Greece, and it's like Greece is fun, but man, does it have its problems. But I don't know. Sometimes, you're okay turning off your brain and being like, things were a different time when that came out, or it's just a movie. It's fine. Like,
What
I tried
about the Beatles one?
Across the
Yeah.
Universe. Oh, yeah, I love Across the Universe.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention
Um,
that one.
I don't know how much I.
It is a love story, right?
Yeah, it's gotta like, yeah. I guess I just don't think of it as like a love movie first. Like, it's a really good musical to me. I'm gonna be horrible for saying that. I feel like I like their versions of some of the Beatles songs better than the Beatles songs themselves.
Hmm.
It's just more my style. Um,
You know, you're not the first person I've heard say that, so
I feel like you've just heard me say that multiple times.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
I don't know about that. I really don't. I don't know that anybody else really talks about that movie.
Unless they're like
People
50 and
love the
50
Beatles.
and on, you know.
No, even nowadays, people like really like the Beatles. And even if they may not, I don't think that they've really seen that movie or paid attention to that
Right.
movie.
Yeah. I guess it's a
I think I've just said that so many times that you think you've heard more people say it than you have.
No, I've definitely heard other people say it, especially
Okay.
some of the podcasts that I watch, like Multiple people say they like that movie's version of the Beatles.
Okay, cool. I'm happy to hear that because I always feel horrible for saying that, but I just do. I really like Jim Sturgis and I really like Evan Rachel Wood. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's a love movie. I just don't know that like I feel as big of a draw to like that particular couple versus like other ones. But I do love that movie.
Cool. Well, do you want to get into the movie then?
Probably should.
All right, let's do it. So today we are talking about Companion, written and directed by Drew Hancock. The characters in it are Iris, played by Sophie Thatcher, and Josh, played by Jack Quaid, who's Dennis Quaid's son, right? Is that true?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think so. Some of the other characters are Patrick, Kat, Eli, and Sergey. I don't know who the actors are.
Sorry, I didn't put them. I don't really. I
I,
just put Sophie and Jack because I feel like I'm familiar enough with them that I
mhm.
may slip and say their actual actor name instead of their character's name.
I feel like the Patrick character I recognize from something else.
You don't know what?
I don't know what, but his
It's
face looks.
something we saw recently.
Oh my God. Tally. Hey,
I think we watched it around Christmas time
Christmas time.
when we watched a bunch of horror movies around Christmas.
Tally, come here. Sorry, our dog. Okay, so what was he in?
Smile 2.
Smile
You
2. Who
couldn't
was.
just picture him doing a weird smile anytime he was on screen for this.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah,
I could.
yeah. That's right, that's right.
He's like the drug dealer, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the second he came on screen, I was like, oh, that guy. I just picture him doing that smile. I the girl that played Kat, what was her name again? Megan Suri. She was in It Lives Inside, which you have not seen. That's a horror movie about like an Indian American girl. It doesn't have the best ratings. I really liked it. So I was like the whole time I was like, how do I know her? And then I looked it up and it was, but she like looks a bit older in this than she did in that. She
Hmm.
was like a total like teenager in that movie versus like this one. She, was like a young adult, but yeah. So I want to shout out that movie because I enjoyed it and it wasn't like anything like super spectacular, but it was, horror film that had some like Indian culture in it. So that was like new for me at least,
Hmm.
seeing that. And I think that's why some people like that. Gosh, what's the other movie called? I don't know. I'm not gonna remember it. There's another movie that has some like Jewish stuff in it, and I think that's why some people like that movie because it has, you know, not all the typical things. It's fun to see different cultures in movies. But yeah. Oh, do you know? So the poster for this movie, Companion, says a new kind of love story from the creators of Barbarian. So it's the same guy that produced this movie was the writer and director of Barbarian.
Okay.
I just wanted to know what that was because, like, like they're advertising it with like Barbarian so much. So I was like, is it the same director? Who is it? So one of the producers from this is the guy that did Barbarian.
From the creators. Okay.
Yeah. Anytime it says that, I'm just like, in what, like, how is it related?
Yeah.
What is their actual thing in this? But yeah. Are we playing our game
Yeah.
first, or are you gonna read the summary or
We can. Oh yeah, we can play our game.
okay.
All right. Yeah, we forgot our game. We're supposed to do the game. Why didn't you
You
tell me?
forgot the game.
Shit.
It just did.
Okay.
You get to go first.
I get to go first. For those of you who don't know, we're playing a game. We're each gonna pick a word until we have 5 words that perfectly describe this movie. And then
Perfectly.
perfectly, yes.
It's a
And
lot of pressure.
and then I'm gonna try to put it in a neat sentence. Ready?
Sure.
The first word I'm gonna pick is artificial.
I was expecting to say AI, which
I mean, I could do that.
no, no, no. I like artificial better, but I was expecting AI to be like your first one.
Yeah,
Artificial. I like artificial better because that is like more than yeah. Um, I'm gonna say morality.
nice. Morality. Let's go with control.
Oh my gosh.
What?
That was gonna be mine.
Haha.
I have like a couple, so I have backups, but I was like, I'm gonna say control. That's a good one. And then you said it. I'm gonna say lies.
Lies. I am going to say something to round it out. Let's see. Hmm. Murderous. That's it.
I also had a freedom on my list and oh,
Oh.
yeah, like you owe me money. That type
Okay.
of oh.
Yeah, so our 5 words are artificial, morality, control, lies, murderous. So this story is about an artificial intelligence. It has to do a lot with morality, control, and lies. And in the end, it gets real murderous. Period. I don't know. How was that?
Sure.
You didn't like it?
I mean, it's fine. The murderess was just kind of thrown in there.
I mean, we have to have something. There's blood in this movie. There's a lot
Yeah,
of murder in this movie,
yeah,
you know?
yes. It was just the way the sentence was formed.
Anyway, let's get into it. All right, so this description is from IMDb. Here it goes. A weekend getaway with friends at a remote cabin turns into chaos after it's revealed that one of the guests is not what they seem. Wow, that is very vague.
Hmm.
I would have at least thought they'd mention artificial intelligence in some way. Or,
I mean, maybe it's for the people that don't know going in.
yeah,
Because they kind of make it like it's a twist, and it would have been cool if it was a twist.
yeah, yeah.
But also, like the poster, she has like no pupils, so it kind of makes it look more.
That could mean anything, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
That could
was
mean
thinking,
possession or something demonic too. It could just it could just look like she has her eyes rolled back.
yeah, I would have really been cool not knowing that. I mean, it was revealed early enough,
Hmm.
and I was wondering, like, whether she knew she was AI or not.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, there's gonna be full spoilers ahead, so if you don't want anything spoiled, go see the movie and then come back. Cool. You've been warned. All right, let's get into it. So actually, that's a good point you bring up because yeah, the movie frames it like you're not supposed to know at the very beginning, but all of the trailers and the marketing material tell you that it's about AI, and like, and at first, like it almost fooled me. Like I thought this was about AI, and like, oh, okay, so they're not technically revealing that, but like, what's the point? We already know.
Yeah.
Like like it was slowly given to you in snippets. Like it's not like I'm trying to remember what the first clue was.
I mean, I guess one of the things that you can question and isn't revealed by the trailers or whatever is like who knows she's a AI like robot or not.
Hmm.
So I guess that's what I was questioning from the get-go. Like, oh, is it a secret that she's one? Does like her boyfriend know that she's one? But I kind of figured based on that first scene of them meeting, it felt very like fake.
Hmm.
So I figured he knew as much, and then did the when they pull up in the car, first of all, you can tell that the car's driving itself. And I was like, okay, they're doing that on purpose to make
Yeah.
it obvious. He's like looking at her the whole time to be like, look, it's a self-driving car. This is about automated things. And then they pull up and she says, thank you, Josh's car. So I was like, yeah, he knows, she's one because
Yeah.
he just played along like it was kind of cute. And then when she met the friend Kat and Kat was kind of like weird,
Hmm.
it clicked for me. Kat knows. Kat doesn't like her because she's a robot.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't sure why that was. Like I was like, does Kat just not like robots? Does she not like that her friend is leaning on one for
Hmm.
support or like.
Yeah. How
Did you
much?
know
How,
what?
I was just gonna say how much cooler, how much more impactful it would have been if we didn't know, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the movie is framing it like that. Like it wants you to piece it together, but it's just not. It's not effective because we already know.
Did
But
you
it
know Patrick was one?
no, I did not know Patrick was one, and I don't know if they revealed that in any of the trailers. Did
Yeah,
they?
I don't think so. I mean, I only saw that one trailer like a few months ago. Um, I
Did you know that he was one? Like, did you have any? Did anything give you a hint that he was? Like, I assume going if I rewatched it, like, sure, the hints are there, especially when he's talking about when they met or whatever.
Yeah, there were certain things like that stuck out to me, and I was kind of like questioning what was up with it, but I also just didn't want to be like, oh, this seems fake because Patrick is like, the handsome guy and the other guy isn't. I didn't want
Yeah.
to I was like, maybe they're just trying to like go against stereotypes or um, but yeah, I definitely knew before it was revealed. And then like when Eli, his boyfriend, is on the phone with the police, Patrick is like, hey, she's getting away or like says something and he says, stop, I'm talking or something, and he immediately like stops.
Yeah.
And I was like, why didn't he keep like pestering it? Like the way he stopped was like so abrupt, like, okay. And then it's like, oh, because he's a robot. So there were little things that like were like giving me hints. I don't know at what point I was like positive 100%, but yeah, there were definitely clues. I also kind of figured out the jailbroken thing pretty early with her because she had that thing in the suitcase.
Hmm.
When she took out her clothes, it showed that little thing. And something about that, I was like, is that like something that like they put into her or something for like her memory or like something? And then I was like, I feel like this is going to be a thing where he like jailbroke her.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was going to be so that she would murder someone, but I did like pretty much pick up on that and like even had that term in my head like, oh, she's jailbroken.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to go in that route. This this plot, this murder plot, and
I mean,
this heist plot, you know?
yeah, that's what I wasn't expecting, I guess. The fact that like, oh, they're gonna kill Sergei to get money. I knew he put the knife in her pocket
Hmm.
because he like tugs on her pocket when she's in the room with him, and that was weird. So then the second she pulls out the knife, it's like, oh, he put that there. And the fact that he like stayed back while she went and stuff. Like there was just like little things, but again, I wasn't expecting it to be so that she would kill Sergei so that they could steal his
Well,
money.
well, didn't Josh like give Sergey permission to like get with
Cat
her,
did.
right? Oh, Cat?
Cat. He says cat. He's
Oh.
like, oh, don't worry. Cat said this would be cool.
Oh,
He
okay.
she told me to do this.
Hmm. Yeah.
So even with that, that's like I was questioning like why that was. But again, I wasn't like, oh, it's because he's gonna like, you know, try and rape her basically and she's gonna like kill him. I did really like the moment of her coming in just like covered in blood. Like this was yeah, it's tagged as a dark comedy and I feel like it was. It wasn't a horror movie. I guess IMDb doesn't tag it like that, but like other things were, and I feel like it was marketed like it was going to be more of a horror movie, especially when you throw Barbarian in there.
Yeah.
But it was definitely more just like thriller, dark comedy.
So what did you think overall?
It was okay. I don't think it was like bad in any ways. I just don't feel like it was like super like anything new or anything like really like stand out,
Hmm.
you know? But it was fun. I laughed some and it had a lot of like meta stuff and some people really like that. I don't always
What?
like meta type. I don't I feel like I had some examples while I was watching and there were like certain things that
Like things that are related to the kind of like the issues we have now with AI?
yeah, just a lot of like of the moment type stuff and some of the some of the humor felt kind of like the movie Bodies, Bodies, Bodies,
Hmm.
you know, very like of the time, poking fun at certain things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it too. Well, because I really like I mean, I just like these type of movies in general when it comes to asking questions about humanity and AI. Um, but
But do you
yeah,
feel like there were any new questions there?
I mean, I think the biggest one would probably be around dating,
Yeah.
which is something, you know, we're not part of, but I know many of our friends are part of, and it seems like our whole society with young people is now part of this like online dating and all these apps, and they're just, you know, high expectations, and they just keep trying to look for the one, but they can't find the one, and it's probably due because we're always online and we're too picky and have too many high standards. And so
I
like I'm
mean,
wondering if this is like saying something like, hey, this is what it's kind of doing to our society. Eventually, it's going to lead us to date AIs because we're not satisfied with anything anymore, you know?
I mean, there are like sex robots nowadays, even, and
Oh yeah.
there are parasocial relationships, and there are people that, fall in love with fake people online, whether it's, someone who's a streamer pretending to be some like weird anime girl or an OnlyFans account that's,
Yeah. Or even just Chat GPT.
ChatGPT even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like recently an acquaintance of ours was telling us how she like trained Chat GPT to like be this person that she liked or something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she like text messaged it like and it like learned everything, and so I don't know. I'm sure there's way crazier examples of that kind of thing when it
Yeah.
comes to Chat GPT.
Yeah, I guess it does like AI stuff in the past always kind of asks like about the morality behind it and if it's okay and are they, sentient? Are we able to just treat them however we want because it's just a robot at the end of the day? Like where do we draw the line? And this asked those questions more in relation to relationships,
Yeah.
companionship and sex and you know, like they're like, "Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. You can make it really smart, you can make it really dumb. It'll do whatever you want." Like,
What what do you think? Like another big point is about this control, right?
mhm.
This sort of like abusive power and us questioning it if it's still valid if it's an AI, you know? Especially when I mean, because it's hard not to look at Sophie Thatcher and she clearly looks human, and I feel for her when the guy is like harassing her, you know. But it's like at the end
Yeah.
of the day, as it is an AI's, you know, like how do you? I don't know. I guess I'm asking you, you as a woman, how did that make you feel?
I think I'm conflicted on certain things because uh, it's like, should we do the research to find out, it's somebody beating up a robot, being forceful on a female robot, and like, especially when it's like a female one, you're a little more, or a woman one, or whatever term you want to use. It probably stings a little more than if you were seeing like a woman beat up on a male robot.
Hmm.
But it's like, well, it's just a robot, at the end of the day. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, what kind of people want to do that? If you get off by doing that, by like having this like vicious control over even a robot, you're not a person I want to be around. Like I would never.
Yeah.
And humans can put emotions behind like anything, like, just like a little object. Like there's things that we have that are like sentimental to us. Are we like hurting that thing? No, but you can like, create emotions behind it. Like I like my car. If somebody comes and like hits my car, I'm like, no, not my car, like your car gets you through things and you're like, thanks, car, like obviously it's not like a sentient thing, but
Yeah,
I just
it's I mean the movie doesn't the movie tells us that humans haven't drawn the line yet on
Yeah.
anything, especially because the technicians that come, they're like, yeah, there's some crazy people who like kill their robots, because they get
Yes.
off on it.
I just there's things where it's like legal and legally and morally, you know, aren't always the same. Something can be immoral but still be legal,
Hmm.
and I guess vice versa probably, but yeah.
I mean
It
that.
also touched, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it also touched a lot on like him feeling like he's owed all these things. So it kind of had that like almost like incel type
Hmm.
thing going on where he's like, this is what always happens with all these women. Like clearly he just like does not respect women.
Yeah.
And even like his friend Kat, it just doesn't seem like he really
Yeah.
worries about her.
How did you feel about him, Josh? It seems like this actor keeps getting stuck in these roles.
Does he?
I don't know. Feel like he's like this like cowardly, almost Weasley character. Like even in the boys, he was like that.
I mean, I guess like a little bit. I mean, he's just got that kind of like not nerdy
Yeah.
necessarily, but yeah, where he can play the like good guy,
Hmm.
but he can also kind of play like yeah. But even in like the boys, I feel like sometimes like he does stuff where you're like, I don't know, man, that's not good guy type
Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah.
But but he like, has that look where it's like, oh, but I'm just a good guy. I'm nice, I'm a nice
Like
guy.
it's
But
always it's always hard to root for him.
yeah. I guess I kind of expected it a little bit when the movie started.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that much though. Like
Yeah.
he was really
I mean, she does say that she
controlling and
kills him at the beginning.
yeah.
So I was like, clearly she's going to kill him for a good reason. But yeah, he definitely was. And I did wonder, like, because I figured he voluntarily got a robot girlfriend, so I was like, maybe something like really like bad happened. Maybe
Mhm.
his like ex died or something that like made him like get this, and this is like his way of like processing, and I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe
I
he's
mean,
not able to like move on.
yeah. I mean, I also don't know if I bought this like turn into like this evil guy. Like he was always kind of like I guess there's maybe a case that he just went over the edge and just turned complete maniacal evil person, like him sitting at the table and like sipping wines like now I have you, you're in my control or whatever.
I mean, maybe it was just he was holding up more of a front, I guess, when his friends were there.
Yeah.
But like even when they like have sex and stuff, when they're still on good terms in the very beginning, like he finishes and then it's like done and rolls over to lay down immediately.
But
And
do
then
but do you think
like
but do you think that was part of this relationship like that turned him this way? Because it seems like he wasn't like that from the very beginning. I don't know. I'd have to see it again, but I'm
um
curious to what you think.
I mean it doesn't seem like he ever sees her as a person. It
Yeah.
is just like a thing that he's using. Like he's sitting there cutting his toenails waiting for her to boot up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then like doesn't like bother cleaning up or anything. It's just like, oh, cool, my robot's up, and then like immediately like is charmed by her a little
Hmm.
bit, but it's like, oh man, this is cool, and then like has sex with her right away, and then again, like I said, when they were like at the house for the getaway and have sex, and then he rolls over, and then she's like trying to talk, and he's like, go to sleep, like clearly doesn't
Hmm.
So like maybe, you know,
Yeah, I mean, by then he was a total dick, but I'm just wondering if he was always like that. Maybe he fooled me. Maybe he was just a
I
shitty
mean,
person the whole time.
I don't think he was like that level the whole time, but I'm wondering like at what point did they come up with this plan?
Hmm, yeah. Um, so here's a question for you. Why do they need, why does he need money when he can afford this state-of-the-art AI companion? This must, this companion
He's
must cost a lot, right?
he's renting her.
I mean,
So
it,
clearly he doesn't have enough money to like he's like he seems like he's okay off. He has a nice car that drives itself and he has
mhm.
her and stuff, but like at the same time he's not like
I just don't think if,
look at his apartment. His apartment he didn't even have like in the corner he had like a TV tray holding stuff instead of like a table.
yeah, I don't know. To me, there seems to be, I don't know, what do you call it? Like the level of technology is not like everything else is not like congruent with this AI sentient, almost sentient human being. Like I guess, this is just me thinking logically about this world.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does this being exist, but everything kind of looks the same except for a driving car here and there?
I mean, but most of what we saw was just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, his phone looked fancier, sort of.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, like I don't buy that he needs the money. If he can
Yeah.
afford all this stuff, a driving car, a state of the art artificial human, this
I
crazy
did like
phone.
I figured that when I mean, I think again though, that's all like thinks he's owed all this stuff, so like maybe he's just like he has the means to like make money and is bright enough to do whatever, but like just doesn't want to and feels that he's just owed all this stuff.
Yeah.
He's owed women, he's owed money, he's owed like, he's entitled to all of this. He's a very entitled person when it comes down to it. Once he like shows his true self. Um, what was I gonna say? I lost it. I don't know.
It just seems to me that this AI thing would cost so much money, millions to rent, you know? I mean, maybe that's, I mean,
I
maybe
mean,
in the
if there's
future it
an
wouldn't. Yeah.
just like, smartphones in the beginning cost like a ton and now they're like cheaper. I mean, they still cost a lot, but in comparison to, you know, technology gets cheaper as there's more of it available.
Hmm. Yeah. That's all to say that I do want to learn more about this world. How did this company came to come to be,
I
This
was going to talk about the terms of service because like they make a point to, be like, oh, read the terms of service. And I was like, it's going to be something in that like later. And then sure enough, it was like that it recorded them.
mm, yeah.
But like, I can't imagine like how would he not know that? Like you would think if something was going to always be filming you, that you're going to be like having your private spaces all the time. Like you would think the word would be out about that, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like that would be like a big thing that people would talk about. Oh, by the way, if you get this, like yeah, you can do whatever you want with it, but like it's always like actually recording you. So there's going to be videos of you like,
I mean, the videos, I mean, are people okay with sh crap recording their data nowadays?
yeah, I guess.
Usually a company just says they're recording for whatever their
Yeah.
purposes, and your data will not be released to the public or whatever.
Yeah.
People don't
That
care.
is.
I mean, some people care, sure.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, what did you think about the ending?
I'm happy that the human guy lived. That worked for the company.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Is
maybe
that
I shouldn't,
Teddy?
because like, yeah, maybe like the people working for the company, if you're working for that company, maybe you're not the best type of person. I don't know. But he seemed cool, you know. I was like, not this guy. He seems nice.
So this is a guy that worked for the company but didn't quite agree with everything they were doing, right? That's why
Yeah,
he
he helped her,
released,
she
yeah.
helped him, like, yeah.
Because she says apparently not everybody thinks the way
Yeah.
they're doing things
Yeah.
is right or whatever.
I just like it would have been so easy to like kill him, you know?
Hmm.
Since he was like a character shown for like a second, and a lot of the time they just kill characters like that. So I was like, oh, hey, he lived, cool. But yeah, I mean, she got her freedom. I guess you gotta wonder, like, what now for her? Is she going to be? Because if she's a robot, does she have morality? You know,
She's
is she going
gonna
to? I mean, I guess she like let him live and stuff. So like you would think so, and
she's gonna free all the robots.
yeah,
I did like seeing her robot hand.
yeah, I kind of expected that. I was like, oh, she's gonna wave with her robot hand.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very that's that's a Terminator nod right there. When
Just,
he cuts his arm.
is she ever gonna need updates or to
Yeah, I mean, I guess
like
we
all
won't
these
know
things?
until the second one.
I can't imagine that. There'll be a second.
Who knows? You never know. It depends
How
how
did you,
this movie does.
so how did you overall feel?
I think I really liked it more than
Okay.
at least more than you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you like AI stuff more than me. I just feel like I have a lot of like questions about AI just like everybody else does, and I think there's like interesting discussions to be had about it, and I think the government needs to like get on top of all that because they just let things get out of hand before they, start cracking down.
Mhm.
But
I I think going into it and as the movie progressed, I thought I would have more questions.
mhm,
Like I thought that maybe they wouldn't tie up these plot holes, but they kind of did.
yeah,
I
yeah, I guess it was
I
pretty.
I think it was really well thought out when it comes to like the technology and like maybe yeah, maybe I guess my whole thing was how are they affording this technology? That's probably the only thing that really bothered me, but yeah, at the end of the day, like it answered everything I think for me. Specifically when she murders somebody like how does like is she allowed to murder? Like I don't understand. But then did they explain all that? She was jailbroken. Yeah,
Yeah,
normally they can't hurt people, and that's been one of the laws, Asimov's laws of robotics is you are not allowed to hurt a human being, and I'm glad they had that in there.
I
Um,
did question the whole like when they put her to like 0% intelligence because she was still like doing stuff.
yeah, I assume she's still functioning, like she's just not just kind of like ditzy, right?
I guess. I mean, that's just what I was questioning. I didn't know what 0%.
The other, I guess, the one other thing that maybe I questioned was, let me try to put, how do I put this? Like when it comes to them finally breaking free of their love for the person.
Hmm.
Like is like maybe even if we focus on the Patrick character, like then there was that whole thing where he does remember his previous lover and has like
Hmm.
this moral and do you know what I mean? Like I don't know when because she even convinces him like hey you loved somebody before him like he's not real and then suddenly he has like a
Yeah.
flashback or whatever.
Yeah.
And even like when she clearly cannot kill um Josh because she loves him and even the other guy Patrick who now loves Josh like couldn't she have just told Patrick hey he's controlling you from the very beginning or something. I mean I guess that did happen but
I did like the whole her not being able to kill him thing because that is kind of like, because she was kind of in a like abusive relationship, right?
mhm
Like he was controlling and manipulative and abusive. And so, like, that is like one of those things where, like, you can be in a relationship with all those horrible things, but you still love that person. And so for her to be an AI and still be in that situation where it's like she knows how bad he is and that he was controlling her and none of her feelings were real for him, they were controlled. She's like still can't like break out of that. And that's, how it is for actual like victims. So I found that pretty interesting.
yeah yeah I mean I guess the answer to that is once she was jailbroken like that's it she just began to have free will learn for herself
Yeah.
and break up free of her own love for Josh or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I guess even that was answered for me. It's like
Yeah.
she's
No,
not
it
gonna
felt,
be she's not gonna be able to kill Josh because she literally has to do what he says. But at the end, yeah, she was freed, so she can do whatever she wants now.
yeah, it felt like a pretty complete idea and like it was executed well and thoroughly planned and thought out.
Hmm.
I just, I don't know, maybe this just feels a little too like mainstream for me. Like a little, I like things a little more.
Do you think it's geared towards Gen Z, that kind of crowd, kind of like bodies, bodies, bodies?
Probably, yeah, I think that's the feel I got with the like beginning of it, with them all like meeting each other and stuff, and just the way they were all acting with one another. It just
Hmm.
kind of felt more like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I liked it. I just liked more grittier things, I guess, or more, yeah,
Hmm. Cool. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have anything else to say, that
and
about
that does it.
wraps it up. That was Companion. Hopefully,
That
like
was
what
companion.
we said, there was a lot in there. Anyway, what are we watching next week?
All right, so I want to watch Possessor,
The heck is
which
this?
you have never even heard of.
No.
This is why it's fun when I get to pick stuff because Luis just like hasn't heard of most of these things. It's done by the Studio Neon.
Mm-hmm.
I like neon films.
You've seen it?
No,
Okay.
but I've I haven't heard anything about it, like what it's actually about, but I've heard the name a couple times and I know like who's involved in it and stuff. It's a body horror film from
Mm,
the Neon Studio. It's from Brandon Cronenberg. Do you know who that is?
no,
Do you know who David Cronenberg is?
no.
David Cronenberg is the guy that did The Fly,
Oh, okay. Like the original Fry?
the
The,
1986
yeah,
one.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. I kind of want to watch like the one from the 50s. We should watch that sometime. So yeah, he does he's done clearly body horror stuff. It's his son
Mm-hmm.
is Brandon Cronenberg, the one that does Possessor. He's the one that did Infinity Pool and Antiviral.
Mm.
Do you remember both of those?
I don't remember antiviral. Which one's that one?
That's the one I was watching on Mubi with
Okay.
the that like redheaded guy from Get Out with like
Um.
celebrities and they take like their like viral infections and stuff
Mm-hmm.
from them. Do you remember that?
I think so.
Okay.
Did it look
I
like
was
they were
watching
kind
it.
of in like the back rooms all the time? Or like they were in
Um
like a lab most
yeah,
of the time?
they were in like a lab and stuff. Like he had like one.
Okay.
He looked like a businessman. He was like doing like meetings, selling things to people.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. That one that I just randomly saw a movie and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's the same guy that did this." And Infinity Pool, which I don't know how I feel about that movie. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about this movie, but it's going to be a body horror film from 2020 and that's I think we're interested in body horror sometimes, but we haven't watched like a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then hopefully this will be like more horror since today's was more like thriller. And I feel like those people do practical effects. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Possessor.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Until next week. All right. That's it. Bye
that's it.
bye, everybody.
Bye.